Hello my friends and welcome to this video where me and RJTV are gonna go through the text guides for the upcoming Easter Links tournament. Starts the 26th of March, which is tomorrow, Monday. Before we start, please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are 144 people away from 13,000, which is an absolutely amazing number. So also do not forget to check out patreon.com/golf-tommy, where you can buy specific packages to improve your game and be getting that banner for the tournament. So I think it's time to say hello to you, RJ. Glad to have you on board for this walkthrough tonight.
Oh, nothing better than making a video with Tommy. Glad to be here. It's a pleasure, and I'm looking really forward to this.
Awesome. So I think we just kick off directly with hole number 1. It's an old hole. And I say old hole because we're going to play some new holes as well this time around. So it's a par 4. And how do you play this one, RJ?
Well, if I'm not really that confident in my accuracy, I definitely follow the black line and go to the right of the sand trap because you can easily go ahead and hit the green on two. However, if you do feel that you can accurately land over in between the left side of the sand trap and the rough, that gives you a direct shot to where you could possibly chip in. And then there's this blue line that I think Tommy's got something special for us on that one.
Yeah, it's very special, and you can see it's a very weird line, but that is actually a line if you are going to hook your shot to the green, also called a trick shot. So that most applies when you play from the second tee, which is Pro and Expert division, but we need to have tailwind or tailwind/sidewind to the left to be able to do that shot. With all other type of wind, don't try it out because it's way too hard. But if you're going to try that one, you aim just at the rough there, having your adjustment just at the rough, and go for the full curl that you have on your phone, not a tablet curl, a phone curl. But otherwise, with any other type of wind like side wind, headwind, then we play up short and play it easy like white line or black line. But tailwind, we try to hook it, or we try to go with curl and go as close to the green as possible for an easy shipping for an eagle. Easy and easy, but you know what I mean. So hole number
Right.
2, first par 3, old hole as well. And how do we play this one, RJ?
Once again, this is a very straightforward hole. A lot of people are going to be getting super close, so I definitely recommend the backbone. And I also recommend pushing your backbone up almost to maximum distance and putting a lot of backspin on it, so your ball will not be rolling down that hill or too far past the hole. And this is definitely something you could ace.
Agree, totally agree. If we take Pro and Expert and Masters into account, you most likely will be playing from second tee with a wood club. If we do have tailwind, we will be playing with a long iron depending on what type of ball you're playing with. I do suggest a Guardian there to use the backspin, aim just like before the after the pin to let it fall back down. They have done some changes with the green, which means that the green is not sloping as much as usually from the right side to the left. So you can actually be short to the hole on the right side even if you go on the right side. So that is actually new for this tournament and for this hole. From Masters, you will most likely be playing with your wood club as well, with max distance. With a lot of headwind, we will be playing with our driver, then it's a quarterback or a rocket for this hole. But in the end, straightforward, use a club with backspin and go and get that ace. Okay,
Get the ace.
Yeah, exactly. Hole number 3, old hole again, and we have a par 5, first par 5. And how do we play this one?
You know, again, I'm the conservative guy. You know, and when it comes to playing this hole conservatively, I like to bounce it where, and on the guides, you see that first square, and I put full top spin on because that extends the range of your second bounce to ensure you don't clip the rough or go into the sand. Let the ball roll up, and then you should easily have your second shot go right onto the green.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, sorry. Now it's when it comes to this hole, it's I remember this one for the last tournament we had this one, and you could actually put yourself up for an like wedge club for the albatross, but that means that you need to have tailwind. So if you follow the black line, you will see that that is meant to have tailwind. If we have tailwind, we will be able to reach over the bunker and curling it into the right side, putting ourselves up for a short iron / a wedge for the pin for an albatross. Otherwise, I completely go with the white line. And you can see on the club selections there, you can see the big dog, you can see the cataclysm with distance, and that is if you bounce it over the bunker with like just a couple of bars of topspin, then you need some distance for the second shot to the green. So okay, then we go, now we're going to scroll down. We have it in not the right order here, so we're going to scroll down to hole number 4, a new hole. So this will be interesting. So how do you play this one, RJ?
Well, this is a very tricky hole. This is one that is not so straightforward in my opinion, and that is because the terrain right in front of the hole is very hilly. It reminds me of another hole, which I can't remember what set it was on. But anyway, there is a small little patch of fairway right where you have that white box, and right there is a pretty flat surface. So I would aim for that spot, put a little bit of curl or side spin on, and go for your race, but definitely get on the green in one shot. Well, obviously with all par 3s, but my main thing is that use that little patch of fairway. I don't like going straight because it's a lot of little hills.
Totally agree here as well. This hole is to trick you a little bit, and of course with an open fairway that we have between the bunkers, it's absolutely a way to go if you want to play it with a less shot for like a less chance for making an hole-in-one, but you may want to have a safe birdie. Then that is the place to go. You may find yourself with a long putt, or maybe with a wedge to the pin from that position. But otherwise, if you're going to have an easier way to make a hole-in-one, then it's to go on the right side on the fairway patch there. It's not that big, but in the end, if we want to have the hole-in-one, or at least go for it, that's the way to play. Okay, oh, now we're going to scroll back. So we're going to go to hole number 5. A new hole, again, it's a par 5. Interesting, many lines here on the screen. But how do we play this one, RJ?
Get out your dusting material. It's time to take out the big topper. What we're going to do is we're going to put a lot of topspin on this, and we are going to land the ball right where you see that first black square on the fairway. And you're going to want to end up somewhere by that black star, because you want to be able to use this fairway in the third fairway that'll somewhat lead you towards the ball. Be careful not to end up in the rough on this one, but the big topper and the big dog paired together sound really good to me on hole 5. What do you think, Tommy?
I agree, definitely. A big topper is not that often we use, so it will be fun to see people actually using it. If we take and play from the second tee or the third tee, like Pro Expert or Masters, you of course should be playing with an Apocalypse or a Thor's Hammer or something like that. It all comes down to the wind here. If we do get headwind or like headwind / side wind, then we can't reach over. It will be very, very tough. But I rather than see you play up safe and then you go with the wood club that gives you the most topspin possible and the distance together. If we can reach over to the second fairway on the right in one, that is a big plus and will leave us with an easy approach to the green. If we can make an eagle here, then it's absolutely a plus. But there will be people making a birdie here, because if we can't reach over the rough for the first shot, then we will not be able to reach for the green in 2. That is important to have in mind. So, my friends, that was hole number 5, and then we come to hole number 6. This is the last of the old holes that we're going to play here, and a par 4. So, how do we play this one?
This one was never very fun for me. It's a very dangerous hole. The main thing I like to do as a rookie is just make sure that I somehow get past that tree line in between the 2 sand traps. And the best way I find to do that is to take the black track, the black line, and put some topspin on that ball, and hopefully you can get it close enough for a chip in on your second shot. However, another thing that I tried to do, and it works about 75% of the time, which isn't very high, is I just go full bore, pull the ball all the way back and just try to blast through the middle. And as long as you avoid that first sand trap, I've actually had my ball hit a tree, and because I had full topspin on, it went against physics and still rolled forward after bouncing back and got me stuck in that sand trap, making it so I could still get on the green in two. But again, the main thing you want to do is make sure you don't land behind any trees, whether it's the stripe going across or the stripe on the side to the left. And that's how I play that hole. Always have.
That was very interesting to hear, actually. I've heard more people saying that they go full blast, going through the trees with a lot of topspin on their clubs. And that's why you can see like all the lines kind of goes there with the trees. They have made a change here on this hole as well, that they have removed some of the trees in the middle, which gives you more space to bounce it just in the middle. Stay away from the bunker just in front. That is the key in that way. Otherwise, I do the same second or third tee. Try to go past the trees on right or the left side to give yourself an open shot with your short iron or with your wedge. And the thing that you need to have in mind for your second shot is that you're playing uphill, which means that your ball will be less affected by the wind than normal. So if you have 10 in wind, for an example, then you adjust for 7. So it's a big difference there. And with some good wind, and I remember the last time we had this one in a tournament, we had wind that was tailwind combined with side wind to the right, which gave us a straight way to the pin with straight tailwind, which gave us a lot of eagles. They have changed the green as well, so it's more bumpy than before. And definitely have in mind, don't go short on green. Then you will actually not be able to putt yourself up to the pin. You will actually be falling back down, and that could potentially give you a bogey or a par, depending on what your opponent is scoring. So don't put yourself into that really tough position. So many words about hole number 6, and we're going to go and see here for hole number 7. Now we're going to go up again. We have hole number 7 here, and this is the last par 3. Interesting one. And how do we play this one, RJ?
Personally, I like the Viper on this one for rookies, but there is one thing you need to be very careful of, and that is there is an elevation difference between where your ball's going to take its first bounce and the green on top. So make sure that you make your adjustments depending on wind, of course, and everything. I believe it would be about 2 bars of backspin, but you definitely want to make sure that you don't go sailing, but you also don't want to roll back down that hill.
Yeah, and I think you meant 2 bars of backspin means for pro and expert or master. For rookie, when you play with your wood club, you need topspin. So 2 or 3 bars of topspin to get you up to the green. Otherwise, 2 bars of backspin is totally correct when we play with our drivers on pro and expert or masters. Because that is, you will be hitting the fairway there, and it's uphill, way uphill of a fairway, would give you a different bounce with a wood club, or I would say like this, you will hit the fairway in a different way with your wood club or wood shot than you will with your driver. So 2 bars of backspin with your driver, 2 to 3 bars of topspin with your wood club there. But again, elevation changes, and as the game works, when we play over water, then the ball is affected more by the wind than normally. So this will be a very tough hole, because if you go short, you will fall back down almost to the bunker, and then you will be like 50 to 60 yards from the pin. So hard.
And yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, absolutely. Two bars of topspin, not backspin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the error there.
Yeah,
I get carried away.
Yeah, no worries. We talked about that before as well, so I know you meant it the right way. So hole number 8, my friends, it's a short par 4. So can we reach the green here, maybe?
Well, I really like the white line. I'm more of a, once again, a conservative player. I like avoiding jumping cliffs and everything. And, it looks kind of dangerous over there to the left. If you are a rookie, I definitely recommend going to the right with some topspin. Be careful if you have too much wind at your back because you could definitely roll into the sand up ahead. So adjust your shot accordingly. And then if you use a club that has a lot of backspin, you should safely be able to land on the green.
Correctamente, or how I should say. The black line, it's an aggressive line, and it only applies if we're having tailwind. No other ways. It's first of all, it's a very tough shot to get to the green in one, even with tailwind, because you need to bounce it on the first fairway, and you need to then get the second bounce on the other fairway to bounce over, like you bounce over 2 bunkers in one shot, when you need to hit the rough after the second bunker to make it to roll onto the green. And you can just hear on me explaining that it's very, very hard. As you can see on on the tutorial for hole 8 for pro and expert, then you will see me doing it. But in the end, you will most likely be ending up into the rough or into the bunker close to the pin by going that distance or that direction. The green is small, very small. So that's why you can see here on the text guide, you have Machete, Thorn, Saturn, and then Houdini as well as a bunker club or sandwich club. Because the green is small, which means that if you're having other clubs with not that much backspin, then you will not be able to go for the pin. And of course, if you put yourself up in a situation where you are in a bunker or in the rough, you want to go for the shot at the pin, not just play safe on the green to make a birdie. That's not a good way to play this par 4. So, my friends, we have one more hole left. We have hole number 9. It's a par 5, and you can see here directly on the screen that it's a hard one. But my question for you, RJ, of course, is how do we play this one?
This is definitely a deceiving hole because a lot of people will think that they were going to want to go to that right portion of the fairway, and that really just sets up a very difficult second shot to get you on the green in a putt distance. So what you want to do is you want to land somewhere around that bunker area on the fairway and put some curl or ball spin or both, but don't overdo it. And try to land as close to the rough at the top as you can, setting you up for an excellent big dog shot to possibly get you on the green in 2. What do you say? Of course, with a little bit of wind at your back.
Yeah, correct, and also with topspin as well. But the big dog is an excellent suggestion for that type of situation. And most likely we will be playing it like that, putting it up short, and then have to really play our second shot well to get to the green in 2. The white line, the little bit more aggressive line, only applies again if we are having some kind of tailwind. The tailwind would give us the possibility to bounce over to the fairway patch in between all the bunker stuff there. So you only need to use 1 bar of topspin while bouncing over. Rather hit the rough on that fairway patch rolling onto to the fairway than rolling over the fairway patch into the bunker, because if you're using 3, 4, 5 bars of topspin, you will be rolling off from that fairway patch and will have a very tough time to reach for the green in 2. The fairway is very small or thin, I would say, for going with our second shot, and it can in some cases put you into the bunkers because the bounce will be very irregular, especially if we have wind from left to right. So if you can go over to the second fairway patch, then you can use whatever wood club you want and it will be easier. Otherwise, put yourself up short. So, okay then. A lot of talk, but it's awesome to go through this with you, RJ, and I can't wait for the tournament tomorrow. Do you have any estimations on like a target score for the tournament? What do you think about that?
Honestly, if you want to improve your score, I will tell you this: either go to my channel or go to Tommy's channel and check out our guides on the wind, because I think that could definitely play a role, especially looking at this final hole for how thin the fairways are. Wow, for rookie, I don't know. I'm thinking probably -20 would be a good goal to shoot for because the wind shouldn't be all that bad. But as far as pro and expert, I'm going to leave that up to you because you're the expert.
Ooh, yeah, and that is tough. I don't know why I put that question out there because I have such a hard time myself as well to answer that question. And it comes down to the wind. It does. And if we do find ourselves with tailwind on the par fives, then or like side slash tailwind, we will be able to eagle all three of them, and that will of course put the scores up and puts us in a way of a minus 25 to a minus 28, 29, minus 30 in the weekend round. Because all like people will find specific ways to play the hole, and then we have hole number 1 and we have hole number 8, which is short par 4s, and if we get tailwinds there, then we will be able to at least be close to the green or go for the green, and then that is a possibility as well. So it will be interesting to see the wind, and for the first time it will actually be some changes with the wind. That the wind that we will have in Masters will not be the same in Expert, and it will not be the same in Pro, and it will not be the same in Rookie. So it will be way harder to, especially if you play more accounts than one in separate levels. So that will be fun and very interesting.
Oh, can I add one more thing? I'm sorry, just
Absolutely.
Real quick. Get well soon, Lisa. We're all praying for you.
Awesome. RJ, thanks for this. And my friends, check out RJ's channel. It's RJTV here on YouTube. And may give him some love. Hit the subscribe button there as well. And if you want to get in contact with any of us, we are at our channels, and you can also find us on Facebook. So my friends, I will leave it with this, and I think we have learned now, RJ, how to end it here on the channel, right? So how do we end it here for the peeps?
I would say happy stroking.
Happy stroking, guys.